Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is basically just a kind of playing with new makeup kind of video. I am going to use a bunch of the new stuff that I just got from ShopMissA. I've been using a lot of them over the last couple of days just to kind of see how I feel about them. So far, I am so in love with everything that I ordered. I knew I would be. I know I would be. So we're going to use a bunch of ShopMissA makeup. We're going to use not necessarily a full face, but a bunch of ShopMissA makeup. And we're just going to sit here and talk while I do my base. So Thanksgiving is this week. Are y'all prepared? Because I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know. On top of that, I'm going to go in with this. This is the Maybelline collab they did with Gigi Hadid. I got it at my Burke's. It was $4. I had heard about this, but it never came to like my Walmart or anything. So I figured I would try it out. I have this one in the shade light medium, and I've been using this. I've used it 2 or 3 times so far. And basically all this does is give your skin a little bit of like tan. It gives you a tan. Gives you a little bit of a bronze glow. I just kind of put it on my face and then blend it out with my beauty blender. I already have my color corrector on. You guys see that? It just kind of warms up the face a little bit. Gives you a little bit of color. And I actually like it. I feel like it's a little bit moisturizing as well. So it gives me just that little bit of extra hydration before I go in with my foundation. If you use a high coverage foundation, I don't assume that this would do too awful much for you. But if you're going in with like a medium light coverage foundation, it's going to give you just that little bit of a sun-kissed kind of glow under your foundation. And then I think it looks pretty natural as well. It's basically like just putting a self-tanner on before you do your makeup. And I do that sometimes as well. I am not loving my eyebrows today. I feel like they look super, super blocky. I do love this eye look though. So this is the eye look I did today. It is so pretty. So I used my Jeffree Star Orgy palette. I do have a TikTok coming on this eye look very, very shortly. So if you guys are interested, it will be up. The links for all of my socials and all that good stuff will be in the description box below. But I used my Orgy palette. And then I also used, can I reach it? I also used this big giant palette, if I can get it out. This big thing. This is the Kaleidoscope palette from Profusion. Guys, when I tell you this is one of the most beautiful Profusion palettes like ever, it's phenomenal. If you have been kind of eyeing this palette, I'm here to tell you it is phenomenal. The pink shades in here are just so pretty. Mine is broken, but I used this color right here all over my lid, and it is so pretty. On top of that, you have this whole row of like pressed glitters, and then you have a whole row of face powders as well. It's just a fantastic palette. And then the shimmers in here are this really beautiful kind of putty formula. They're just good. They're just good. I really, really adore Profusion. And the Kaleidoscope palette is one of my very, very favorites. I don't use it super often just because it's so big and so clunky. It's pretty awkward to film with. But it's just so pretty. And like that pink color was the absolute perfect color that I was looking for. So that's what that looks like blended out all over my face. You can see, I don't think it's too red or too orange. It makes me look like I've got a tan. Looks like a very pretty, very kind of natural tan. I used a little bit of color corrector today as well. Let me see if I can find the one that I used. I used my L'Oreal. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Correcting Concealer. I use it in the shade orange just because I haven't been sleeping super great here recently, and I got dark circles for days. So I put just a little bit of that under my eyes and just around the darker spots on my face. And I find that even just that little bit of color correcting that I do really does make a big difference when I have my whole face done. I can tell. I can tell that I've kind of neutralized that darkness, and it gives me a much more even, brightened kind of base. Very, very pretty. I'm going to go in with this foundation now. This is the AOA Pro Wear Foundation. Now, this says it's a full coverage foundation, and I kind of disagree. It's a beautiful foundation, but I don't think that it's necessarily full coverage. I'll show you guys in just a second. I have mine in the shade Buff. It's almost a perfect match for me. I'm just going to take a little bit. I actually really adore the little squeezy tube that it comes in. It just makes application super, super easy. I'm just going to put a little bit on my face. I am going just a little heavier on this than I would normally because, again, it's not super full coverage in my opinion. I would say it's got a really beautiful kind of medium buildable coverage to it, but I love the finish. You guys know I have super dried up, dusty, old mummy skin, and this actually looks so pretty blended out. And I wore it for, I want to say, close to 12 hours the other day, and it looked so good. It looked so good. It didn't look cakey. It didn't look drying or like gross on my skin at all. And I've just kind of melted it in to my skin, and you can see like it's not clinging to any dry patches. It's almost my perfect shade, which is a feat in and of itself, because I feel like trying to shade match yourself off of the website is sometimes like super, super difficult. So this one turned out really, really well. I'm gonna bring it down my neck just a little bit, but look how pretty that looks. And it's got that really beautiful, very skin-like finish to it. It's not matte, but it's not super, super dewy either. I would say it's more so on the dewy side of things than it is matte, or not, maybe not dewy, but glowy, because I don't feel like it's particularly dewy or like sticky or tacky, but it does just give such a beautiful glow to the skin. I think it is so, so pretty. I don't have any glowy primers or anything on today. The only primer that I used was the NYX Hydra Touch primer. Today was the first time that I've used this as well. I like it. I do think that the NYX primers are overpriced. I think this one was like $15. And you get how much in here? An ounce? A fluid ounce? Not even a full fluid ounce. I think that the NYX primers are super, super overpriced. I am very much a very big lover of NYX as a brand, but I do think that some of their things are just so, so overpriced. I don't understand how you can sell a lip gloss and it be so affordable and then sell a primer and it be just crazy expensive. I just don't get it. If we're talking about primers, I really think that my favorite primers are made by Wet n Wild. In my opinion, Wet n Wild makes the absolute best, some of the absolute best primers at the drugstore. You know what? No, I'm going to amend that statement. I'm going to say that my favorite primers come from Wet n Wild and e.l.f. I, of course, love the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I love both the original and luminous versions of that. Oh, I'm so, so excited. So look how far I've come. So this is my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, and I am almost done with it. I am so, so excited. I've been really making a concentrated effort to really use that because I've had it for so long, and I don't want it to expire before I use it all. So I've been using it, and what I do is I put it on with a brush. I use this brush that I got from Shein. It's basically just a fluffy concealer brush, but I just kind of press it into my skin with this brush, and it ends up making my skin look so smooth and poreless. And then I go on with my foundation, and I make sure that I'm not like swiping. I make sure that I'm just pressing everything into my skin. And I end up with the most beautiful, flawless, smooth kind of base. You guys know that I never use any kind of filters or anything like that, but look how good my skin looks. You can definitely tell that it is not a full coverage foundation though. You can definitely see all of my freckles and things like that. I do think that it is a solid medium coverage, but not full. But I do love the effect that it has on the skin. I think it's a beautiful foundation. And for $1.55, I don't think that you can beat it in any way, shape, or form. I think this is a fantastic, fantastic option. ShopMissA, they just continuously surprise me. They continuously surprise me in all of the absolute best ways. I just feel like they come out with really quality products for super amazingly affordable prices, and it just makes my penny pinching little heart so very happy. I also picked up a couple of their contour sticks, and y'all, let me tell you, these contour sticks are amazing. I love these things so much. So I have the shade Fawn and the shade Nude. Now the shade Fawn is more of like a bronzer kind of color for me. I will show you. I use this more so as a bronzer than anything else. Just kind of take it around the perimeters of my face. And then I use the shade Nude. And this is like a really beautiful, cool toned kind of contour shade. And I take this just where I want to add a little bit of shadow. But they go on and they blend so beautifully. Use it to contour my nose as well. And they work well with the other products. They work well with the foundation and all that good stuff. It just goes on. They blend out effortlessly. These are fantastic. These are $1.55 as well. And the closest comparison I have to this color is actually my Be Perfect. Now, I placed an order with Be Perfect not too awful long ago. And I picked up this shaping stick. This is in the shade Maple. This is phenomenal. And you get quite a bit more product in here than you do in here. But this is, I paid $14 for this. And I think retail, like full price, is closer to like $20. But this is the color of my Be Perfect. And then you have the color of the ShopMissA. Can you guys see that? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So that was the shade Nude. And then you have the shade Fawn. It's so good. It's so good. I love these things. If you haven't tried them out and you enjoy contour, I definitely recommend them. It's probably some of the cheapest contour you're going to be able to find just about anywhere. And look how easily they blend out. I'm just taking this is my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Guys, the letters are almost absolutely worn off of it. I use this brush every single time I do my makeup, but look how beautifully and effortlessly that just blends out. It's just so pretty. It gives you a little bit of color, gives you a little bit of shape, especially when you're not wanting to go like super full heavy kind of coverage. I will say that it doesn't add any kind of coverage to the face because it is a pretty sheer formula. So like with my NYX Wonder Sticks, they add a little bit of coverage to my skin. So I feel like I'm really just getting, you know, that little bit much more pigment on my face. But because this formula is so sheer, it just kind of blends out and it gives you this really beautiful, very sheer, light kind of wash of color, which I think is perfect for like light coverage kind of makeup days, or when you're wanting to look just a little bit more natural, but you still want like shape to your face. I think these are absolutely perfect. They just blend out and they look so pretty on the skin. I played with one of those Instagram filters. Was it Instagram? I think it was Instagram, or maybe it was TikTok. Anyway, I played with a filter and it was like one of those contouring filters. And it was like, this is how you're supposed to contour your face for your face shape. And it told me to do that little bit on my chin. And y'all, I am telling you, even just that little bit of a small adjustment, I feel like has made the biggest difference, especially because I do have a double chin. I'm a big old girl and I have a double chin. So when I do that little bit of contour right there at the bottom of my chin, it moves the shadow from here to here and it kind of evens everything out. It just makes my face look thinner. And I really, really enjoy it. Look how beautiful and dewy and luminous and natural my skin looks. It doesn't look heavy. It's just so, so pretty. I am so in love with all of the products that I got this time. If you guys are, ooh, I got a hair in my eye. If you guys are placing an order with ShopMissA or have placed an order with ShopMissA, I would love to know what you guys picked up and how you're feeling about it. Because I tell you what, it feels like ShopMissA is really stepping up their game and like coming for the drugstore. And I love it because the drugstore is like getting expensive as well. It's really hard to go to the drugstore and buy anything that's going to cost you less than 10 bucks, right? You still have, thankfully, you still have Wet n Wild and Elf, but everything else is just getting so expensive. It's sad. It's sad. I don't know. I feel like my eyebrows are throwing me off today. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. So I also picked up a couple of the the gel blushes. These are the Paw Paw Plush blushes. They're liquid or gel liquid blushes. I have them in 3 different colors. I have Cumulus, Alto, and Nimbo. I'm going to use Cumulus today. These are the weirdest little liquid blushes I have ever seen. They're in actual nail polish tubes, which is so weird because I want to shake it like I'm about to paint my nails. But you unscrew the cap and it has the brush tip applicator and everything. And you just put a couple of dots on. And this is so pretty. It is a very sheer kind of wash of color. But again, I feel like a lot of their new releases are kind of more focused on that sheer wash of color, just being pretty natural. But they blend out. This is my e.l.f. On the go blush brush. And I just kind of stipple that in. And it just gives you the prettiest, super natural kind of flush of color. I'm going to build it up just a bit so you guys can see that it is buildable. But they're just so pretty. And again, they're only $1.55. Though I will say, if I had to pick between the Paw Paw blushes and my LA Colors blushes, I think I still prefer my LA Color blushes just because I feel like the LA Color ones have a little bit more pigmentation. On top of that, they're a little bit more affordable. These ones are $1.55 and my LA Colors are $1.25. And I feel like the LA Color ones have just a little bit more pigment. I think they both blend out effortlessly. But I do like a pretty blushed kind of look. I mean, look at that though. I think the colors are super, super pretty. And if you just want the novelty of it all, I think that these are so much fun. I think it's fun to kind of paint the blush on. I have no qualms with the formula though. Formula is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Goes on seamlessly, just melts into the skin. It dries down completely, so you're not left with like any kind of stickiness on the skin at all. It just kind of goes on and gives you this such a beautiful, natural kind of flush. I am so into it. I am so into it. These are fantastic. I still enjoy my LA Colors ones, but these are so good. I do wish that they would come out with some more colors and expand the line and do maybe some like super like fun bright pinks or something like that, just because I feel like the colors that they came out with are super, super neutral. And I love a good rusty kind of bricky orange blush. I love a bright pink. I'm also on the search right now for a really fantastic cool toned bubblegum pink. If you guys know where I could find or what brand has a blush like that, I would really, really love to know. But I want a powder version of it. Just want a really pretty powder, bubblegum pink kind of blush. This is my Revlon Skin Awakening concealer. I have mine in the shade 015. This is by far and away my very, very favorite concealer right now. It's fantabulous. So my son came home from school early today. He woke up this morning and he wasn't feeling great. He said his head didn't feel good. And I was like, okay, well, if you don't feel good, just call me and I'll figure out how to come get you. I'll have Daddy come get you. Well, he called me. I didn't think he was going to call me. I honestly thought that he was just trying to get out of school, but that was not the case. He actually didn't feel good. You know, with teenage boys, you never can tell. Because I tell you, that boy will tell me just about anything to get out of going to school. But he was not fibbing to me this morning. But you know, if you keep your kids home and you can't get them in to see the doctor, then you get in trouble because they don't excuse the absence. And then you end up having to go to court and everything. They take that stuff so seriously around here. So I'm terrified to keep him home if I'm not sure I can get him in to see the doctor, because I don't want to have to go to court and I don't want to worry about getting into trouble. So I said, just call me. Just call me if you don't feel good and I'll have Daddy come get you. Well, lo and behold, he gets really, really dizzy and faint in gym class. And then the nurse ends up calling my husband. And then my husband calls me, and then I call the nurse, and we get all that figured out. And then my husband goes up to his boss and is like, I need to go get, because I don't drive. We don't have another vehicle right now. There's no way I could have gotten to the school. Like, I could have walked, but it would have taken me absolutely hours. There was no way. There was no way I could have gotten to the school today. So my husband would have had to get off early and come get him. Well, my husband's boss is, he's not a bad guy, but he's not the most understanding guy in the world either. And my husband went up to him and was like, I need to go get my kid. He's sick. The nurse called me, and his boss would absolutely not let him leave. And I think part of that is because they're getting off so early this week, because it is, it's Thanksgiving week and they get a couple days off for the holiday. And I think he just wanted everybody there to really make sure they got everything done before their days off. But honestly, it wasn't like he just wanted to get off because he just wanted to go goof off somewhere. Like, our son needed him and he refused. And that made me mad. And that's one of those things, like, my husband doesn't call out of work. My husband goes to work, rain or shine, every single time. Like, he doesn't just call out for no reason. So when you refuse, especially when my son is in need, Mama Bear to the rescue every single time. Like, we're not going to play this game. No, if my husband needs to come take care of our son, then that's what's going to happen. But Mr. Hubby told me not to say anything, so I'm not going to say anything. But I think that's just kind of crappy. You know what I mean? So this is what my skin looks like at the moment. Look how freaking pretty, guys. And I have hardly used a product on here that was over $2. So I am stoked. I think that this is absolutely gorgeous. I look so natural and dewy and fresh, and I feel so pretty. I've also been trying not to over powder here recently as well, just because I feel like I get so dry under my eyes. It just ends up looking bad. So I've been just kind of not powdering, not setting my under eyes, and then just kind of making sure I check throughout the day just to see if anything is migrating or pooling, like settling into fine lines or anything like that. But this concealer is so good. I really don't have to worry about that very often. But that's what we're looking like so far. I'm going to go in with, let's do a little bit of highlighter. So this highlighter has very, very quickly become one of my absolute favorites. This is the Paw Paw Glow Within Illuminating Powder. I have this in the shade Wish on a Star. Guys, you want to talk about the most beautiful, subtle, natural, I mean, it's not natural looking, but it is the most beautiful, subtle kind of sheen on the cheeks. I'm going to use my Moda Highlight and Glow Brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff it on to the highest points of my face, and I'm putting this onto an unset base, but my face isn't super sticky right now. Like, there's a little bit of a tack to it, but this that foundation is pretty much self-setting, so the stickiest stuff on my face right now is coming from that blush, and it's not very sticky at all. So I'm just gonna put this on the very highest points of my face, but look how beautifully glowy and natural. Hey, Bubba. How you feeling, sweet boy?
I just got up.
You just woke up? Do you need me?
No, I was just telling you what's going on.
Okay, well, as soon as I'm done, I'll come check on you.
Okay.
Poor thing. He just does not feel very good at all. I mean, look at that. Tell me that is not absolutely stunning. It's not exaggerating any of my texture. It's so like, not shiny, but it's like so glowy. It's like that. It's what it says, lit from within. It's just that really gorgeous kind of smooth sheen to the face. This is spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. I think this is probably my favorite product out of the new products that I tried, just because it is so beautiful. I even love the color. It doesn't leave any kind of cast on my face, but it just gives, oh, it's so pretty. I love a good highlighter. And this is one of those highlights that I can definitely see myself repurchasing time and time again, because it's just that good. I'm going to take this e.l.f. eye contour brush, and I'm just going to bring a little bit right down the center of my nose, just like that. I love the way that it looks on my Cupid's bow. This is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I am so in love with it. Guys, I'm going to go check on my baby, but I hope that you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope that you guys check out some of these really amazing new products. They really are spectacular. I'm going to add a little bit of a lippy, and I, of course, will post finished pictures over on Instagram and TikTok, all that good stuff. All my links will be in the description box below, along with everything that I used in today's video. Guys, as always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera, playing with some makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.